Joining us here on the Back Burner guest hotline on this Wednesday afternoon, or I suppose by the time that you see this, it might be the evening. Mike Gould, joined by Elite Prospects Senior Director of Media, Cam Robinson, a longtime aspirational guest for us here on the show. And Cam has been so kind enough to take some time out of his Wednesday in a crazy week around the NHL and a crazy week leading up to the NHL Draft. Cam, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so Cam, I mean, I don't think it is much of a secret that things are moving like crazy around the NHL right now. I would say around the draft to an extent that we haven't seen really ever in the salary cap era at the very least. I mean, we're starting to see high picks moving. We're starting to see teams really just sort of putting it all on the table. What is your sense as to what Tuesday might lend itself towards the rest of this week here? Is this the start of a trend of continuing big movement from teams with high picks?
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. I put it as one of my 5 bold predictions, and I feel like it was the least bold. I had it written in there before Trading Tuesday, took over. That was incredible stuff. But I mean, yeah, we've seen some big names. We've seen a lot of big names move. We've seen a top 5 pick move for the first time in forever. We're seeing top 10 picks move. I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done. Alex Tuch's about to do a sign and trade with Washington. I think you see the names out there. Not all of them are going to move, but Nikishin and Matthew Nyes and Dylan Larkin and Connor Hellebuck. Like, it's Jason Robertson. Like, these are star level players, and you got to think one or two of them still going to move here. And if it's going to get done, the work gets done now. This is, it used to be everybody shows up in one city, it was the best, and all the, the schmoozing and the talking and the atmosphere and the buzz. Now they're doing it separately, but it doesn't change the fact that after the draft, teams go to their dev camp and then off to the cabins, right? Like they do July 1 and then everyone's gone. So I think if big moves are going to happen, I think they're going to happen this week.
Well, and I think it was you who said, you wanted to wait a little longer, maybe before putting out a mock or before putting out your sort of total in-depth predictions because of all this activity that we're seeing this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel for Scott Wheeler having to redo the top 32 at the Athletic 3 times yesterday with all the picks that were moving, and and so it's just always fun to see sort of the different perspectives and all the different stuff around the public industry. And we're going to get to how we think the top 10 might shake out, or the top 6 leading up to Calgary. I did want to get your take, though, on a couple of the moves that were made yesterday, because one of them does involve a guy who, if you subscribe to EP like I do, you would have seen splashed all across the draft guide 4 years ago, and that's Simon Nemec, a guy who I know EP was high on. I think everybody was high on leading up to that draft. Ends up going number 2 to New Jersey, which was maybe a surprise, but also not really a surprise when it really happened. I think what was maybe a bit of a surprise to people in Calgary, though, was that Craig Conroy was comfortable giving up 3 draft picks, 2 firsts and a second, and a prospect in Etienne Morin, who was regarded in his own right, but maybe not quite as much, definitely not quite as much. What was your initial response seeing that deal come down the pipe yesterday?
I know a lot of people had a bit of sticker shock on it. Is that it wasn't cheap, but at the same time, I think it was about what he's worth. And you saw around the league, like, look what Bowen Byram just fetched, right? Like the prices are high, and they are especially high for young players who can impact a lineup. And that's just the way the world works, right? You want to peddle your 29, 30-year-old, well, you're not going to get as much for him, right? You want to peddle a 22-year-old, a 24-year-old, you're going to have a lot of suitors, and there's going to be teams that are going to be vying for that position. I like it for Calgary. I like taking a chance on a kid who has a lot of skill, who wasn't getting, maybe the opportunities that he could have in a different organization when he was in New Jersey there, and maybe wasn't super happy about it. There is some risk attached to Nemec at this point. I do think that needs to be acknowledged too, is that maybe the development hasn't gone as well as we would have liked and what we had expected for a second overall pick. But at the same time, you're still getting a kid who did go 2-0A 4 years ago. That upside is still there. He's still young. He's still developing. There is room for growth here. And then on the right side, right? Like it's an interesting one because they have Parekh. So somebody's not getting top power play duties in the future here. But I like the move. I like what Craig's doing. You can't keep drafting first round picks and you can't develop them all anyways. So at some point you got to start pushing chips in, and I like the move.
We're already seeing the consequences of what can happen when you draft late in the first round multiple times, where the Flames are now dangling a guy like Connor Zary, available for perhaps a second round pick, and that's a late first round pick. You consolidate these pieces. Calgary's got all sorts of quantity, and it's all about sort of bringing that forward into a different pedigree of player, I suppose. I mean, you sort of touched upon Zane Parekh, who is obviously Calgary's still their top prospect, I would think, especially, Nemec's not really a prospect in traditional nomenclature anymore. Do you get the feeling, though, that things are maybe a little bit crowded? Do you think that Calgary's maybe over-investing on defense at this point? Because they do have, lots of other needs. They do have a lot of right-shot defensemen in their system now. I mean, we'll sort of talk more about pick 6 in a second here, but how does this affect how they move forward here?
Yeah, well, they got Brustevich there too on the right side, right? He's a righty.
Yes.
That was the one thing that I thought was interesting because, we'll get into it in a minute, but, in my mind, Carson Karls is like a perfect fit for Calgary at 6 on the left side. Him and Parekh, he's got great offense himself too, but he's got a lot, he's stiffness to his game too, some hard skill. So when they went on and did that Nemec, I was like, another righty. Does that change things for them at 6? And I do wonder, and I wonder how it's exactly going to shake out at 3-4 there. But I still think they're going to continue to invest in defensemen, even though you're right. They do need some help elsewhere. I think it's just going to work out that way this time around, that a kid like Carson Karls is going to be there, who I personally think has a great shot at being the best defenseman in this class. So it's
a lefty certainly a need. I mean, you look at it, Calgary's system, you could make a very strong case that the 4 best defensemen, the 4 highest upside young defensemen in Calgary's system, all shoot right, with Zane Parekh, Simon Nemec, Brustevich, and Henry Muse. And so it's very interesting. We'll get into it very quickly here because obviously the top 2 picks, we have a pretty good idea, and that idea became, I would say, even clearer yesterday with the move that the San Jose Sharks made with the Ottawa Senators, and it seemed even to act as a precursor to the move that Chicago Blackhawks did, where they knew they weren't going to get Ivar Stenberg at 4. But yeah, how if you were to put anything on it, how confident are you? 1-2 is what we expect it'll be.
I'm going to push back a little bit on that Chicago moved that pick because they didn't think Stenberg was going to be there because of the San Jose move. I don't think that's right at all. I don't think that they expected Stenberg to be there. And frankly, I don't know if they would have taken him if he was, but he wasn't going to be there, and I think that they knew that anyways. I think that they were going to take a defenseman. Okay. I think they were going to take a defenseman. They were hoping it was going to be Chase Reed. Maybe it was going to be Keaton Verhoff, but I think they were going D, and I think they looked at that and they went, we need to take a step forward. Well, we'll give up that 18-year-old D for a 24-year-old D that we hope can be a first-pair guy for us right away. I think that was the mindset for them. So you're right, though. The expectation is going to go McKenna Stenberg. I think Vancouver's going Chase Reed at 3.
You do.
That's my feeling on it, and I think that there's enough information out there that it's a good bet at this point. I don't think it's a slam dunk. It's not something I put out there saying it's going to happen, but that's my feeling. It's going to be Chase Reed, and then you got Buffalo at 4. And now that's fresh, right? That's very fresh. I had that nugget come across yesterday though that I think they're going to keep the pick unless something really crazy is offered to them to really substantially help them right now. Otherwise, I think then it's Caleb Malhotra. I think it's going to be Malhotra there, goes 4. And then you look at the Rangers, and I like Albert Smits for the Rangers at 5. I think they like Albert Smits. I think he's the most NHL-ready guy here. He's big, he's hard, he's a hammer. He skates well, and that leaves the Flames to get a choice between Carson Karls and Viggo Bjork. And again, I think if I'm putting some money on it, if I'm putting my mortgage on it, I'm probably sliding it on Karls' side.
Well, I think most folks would be inclined to agree with you. Karls has been a favorite around Calgary for a long time. Throughout the season, leading up to the idea that the Flames probably weren't going to win the draft lottery, which they didn't. He was always sort of most people's favorite. Do you not think, though, there's a chance that maybe Karls is the guy for New York?
I think there's a chance. Yeah, for sure. I think, again, if I'm putting betting odds on it, that's how I think the top 6 shakes out. I think it's Smits at 5. But if it was Karls, I wouldn't blink, obviously, because personally I think Karls is maybe not a significantly better player than Albert Smits, but I think he's a better player than Albert Smits. And I think he will be a better player than Albert Smits.
Wow. All right. Well, here's one more question for you. I mean, Vigo Bjork, you mentioned him. Obviously, a very very exciting young player, and there are just so many question marks. You seem pretty confident when you said Caleb Malhotra to Buffalo, but do you think there's maybe a chance that they go that direction?
Yep, I do, and I tweeted it last night, but I do think that if Malhotra's there, I think they would take Malhotra over Vigo Bjork. And now the Sabres, obviously, their scouting staff has gotten together today for their meetings, and that's all they're talking about right now. What are we doing if we still have pick 4? And so they are literally, I can hear them probably right now debating it right across the road in Buffalo. So they haven't probably decided yet. I'm just going on my own instincts on this, is that I think that they would take the 6'2" over the 5'9", and when you look at some of the smaller players that they have up front already, that shouldn't be a huge surprise too. Not to say that, like, if it went Vancouver takes Malhotra, and now it's Bjork or Chase Reed, maybe they go Bjork. I still think they probably go Reed, or maybe they slide back. Maybe they start to get, maybe they start to get a little freaky like that. So I think we're going to see some stuff, though. I think we're going to see some stuff. But if, again, like those 6 guys, that's what I'm going to put out there before the draft. I usually try to tweet the first 5 or 6 picks and see if I can get it right. Went 6 for 6 in Vegas. I'll never probably reach that high again. But we'll see. Maybe I can go 6 for 6 this year. Maybe I'll throw it 7, see if I can break it.
Look at you go. Hey,
Look at me go.
Before we let you go, I want to do one rapid fire, put you on the spot, okay? 4 trades yesterday. Okay, we already sort of touched on the one with Calgary and Simon Nemec. I'm just going to put you on the spot very quickly because all these deals involve relatively young players who, during your time at EP, you have covered as prospects coming up into the NHL. I just want to ask very quickly, all 4 deals, we'll go one by one. Who do you think got the better end?
Okay.
So, Calgary, Simon Nemec, 2 first-round picks, second. We already kind of discussed it, but just very quickly, who do you think got the better end?
Give me Calgary. They got the now piece, the highest upside. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, second deal. We saw this one coming in a certain degree, with Ottawa needing to pivot. William Eklund, a very young player. I know he was an EP favorite. For pick 9, Ottawa got a couple other guys as well on Haltonen and Svoboda. Which way do you lean on that one?
I think I have to go Ottawa on that one just because they needed it. They needed it after trading Brady and getting a roster player. William Eklund, very good player, great kid too, like really good personality on him. They need that youth and the skill up front, but that not to say San Jose got the poor end of it either. I think that they did very well. Now they've got another bit of ammunition there to pull off something big or fill their right shot D issue that they could have done at number 2. Now they can do it 9.
Remind me, I think Eklund came in. He was pretty high in the 2021 ranking.
So I want to say he went like where he got drafted. I think he went 7th.
He went 7. I think EP might have had him a little bit higher too.
EP had him at 1 for large chunks of the season. I think we finished the year with him at number 1 that year.
Yeah. I remember he was a big time favorite. And
that was
honestly,
a weird year, though.
A very weird year. I mean, you could make a pretty strong case for Dylan Gunther these days, but I mean, it's very wide open even still.
Yeah.
Number 3. I mean, these ones are a little older players, but I mean, McMichael's not that old. This one was maybe the most surprising one as far as not until the Byram one. McMichael, Milton Gastrin, pick number 16 in exchange for Jordan Kyrou. This one, I still don't know if I know what to make of it.
I don't know either, and I kind of want to see what they get with 16, because again, this draft is going to be so weird. Like if they get, I don't know, like if they get like Ryan Lynn, or if they get somebody who I really like that could like slip out of there, or like a Wyatt Cullen or something, then I might be like, yeah, that's good stuff. But like for Washington, they get the best player, which usually means they got the best end of it.
McMichael was one I was kind of tracking for a while because RFA kind of had the feel of a guy who was going to get traded. And he had the same number of points as Kyrou this year. Do you think there's more to him?
I never really thought there was a ton of offense with him. Like, I think Kyrou certainly has the higher upside on the offensive end. Naturally, he's been a more offensive player, but he's a good player. McMichael's a good player, and he was a first round pick himself, a later first, if I recall. I don't know if there's much more than what we saw, not this past year, but the year before that when he broke out.
Well, and then I guess the last one, Bo Byram, pick 4, pick 45, they took Jordan Greenway's contract off of Buffalo, and they gave him Louis Crevier. I saw a funny tweet last night, I think from Charlie O'Connor, who said that it reminded him of the Ristolainen trade, which I believe somebody gave a J grade to, not an F grade, but a J grade. I don't know about that, but it was certainly shocking, and I think the hockey world is pretty much unanimous on the winner of that one.
Yeah, definitely. Jarmo crushed that deal. He crushed that deal. Now I will just say that in Chicago's defense, there was other teams willing to pay a big price tag for him too. So if they really wanted him, that was the price, and they apparently really wanted him. And so Bo Byram's got a lot of skill. He's got a big personality. I think he'll do well in Chicago. You know, BC boy, Vancouver, Connor Bedard. Like, there's reasons to do it. And, you know, like I said, try to accelerate the rebuild a little bit there. But boy, oh boy, that cost was high. I wouldn't have made that trade myself. So yeah.
I hope it is a harbinger of the level of activity we will see over the next few days. Hey, Cam, we really appreciate it. Tell the folks watching where they can find all of your good stuff, not just on EP, but also on the socials.
Yeah, so obviously go and get the draft guide. Okay, we're running. I got a little discount for you. We do a little Cam 33. We'll give you 33% off on an EP premium subscription. So go do that. Get the draft guide. Learn everything. I got all sorts of stuff coming out. I got mock finally version 10.0 probably coming out tomorrow morning. Drop my 5 bold predictions. We got news and notes. Social media, obviously follow EP on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. You'll find me. But, yeah, this is the best time of year. I'm gonna be a ghost after this. Give me 2 more weeks, less than, and then I'm gone for a month. It'll be great.
Yeah, just you're a spot. You're in the shadows. You're gone after this. Hey, we appreciate it. It's been fun. Enjoy Friday and Saturday. It's the best time of year. And yeah, everybody go check out EP Rinkside and Cam Robinson. Thank you.
Hey, all you dusters. Thanks for watching. Apparently, I'm supposed to tell you to hit like and subscribe. You sound like a real cheese ball.
Cheese ball.